Hey, what's going on, guys? We're going to do distance learning assignment number 3. The first video will just cover 1 through 5. It's pretty straightforward. So let me introduce kind of a new concept. Over here we have an angle measure. And the unique thing about this is that it's in, the angle is at the origin of an XY coordinate system. So you guys already know, right, an acute angle at 90 degrees, you have a right angle. This is an obtuse angle. Then you have 180 degrees, half a circle. And then you go another quarter circle, you're at 270 degrees. And then if you go all the way around, that's 360 degrees. And you can go past 360. But understanding that is sort of the main thing about this. So let's do example 1. And it says, find the measure in degrees not equal to the given measure of the least positive angle that is coterminal. So the word coterminal means that if you go back to this over here, this is the coterminal side. Terminal, terminate, it means to end. So basically, this side of the angle never changes. So this is the angle part that change. This is the part of the angle that changes. And so what we're asking is, hey, if you have 121 degrees, so let's go here and let's go to 121 degrees. So here's 90. And then now we're in 121. Okay, that's about 121. Can't get it perfect, but you guys get the idea. It's an obtuse angle. And the other thing is this is quadrant 1 here, 2 here, 3, and then 4. So we're in quadrant 2. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. 121 degrees is in quadrant 2. And they're asking, well, what's another positive coterminal angle? Basically what it means is that, hey, this is the terminal side. How can I get this angle, but with a different number, right? Another angle that is coterminal to it, that also ends here. So if I take this, and take my snipping tool and bring it over to my little drawing board and kind of do like a little laser pen action. So here's my picture. And if you take a look, again, we know that here's 0 degrees. So if I go this far, we know that's 121 degrees. So if I go this far, how do I get there again? Well, I can go around like that, right? So if you look, that second go, that's a full circle, right? Again, if I go this far, that's 121 degrees. To get to this point again, I just have to go another 360, and that's a circle. And the math behind it is actually really easy, as you can guess, because that means another angle that gets me to a coterminal angle would be, let's go back to, it's over here. All you have to do is take 121 and add 360 to it. And that's it, 481 degrees. It's as easy as that. You're just trying to get another angle that ends up in the same place. It's coterminal. And it says of the least positive angle that isn't 121. So you add a 360, because then technically you can add another 360 and get there again. But this is the first angle that's positive that is not 121 that gets you to that same spot. Now, if you look at question 2, it says find the angle of least positive measure. It's the same question, but notice this is negative 170. Let's get rid of that. So if it's negative 170, let's go to this. The difference between a positive and a negative is that positive always goes counterclockwise, whereas negative angles, again, this is 0, go this way. So if you take a look, this was negative 170. Well, I know negative 170 is almost half a circle. It's 10 degrees before half a circle. So negative 170 would be right around there, right? Because I'm 10 degrees short of 180. Now, if you're over here and you want to get, again, to this spot, you can go 360 around this way, right? So all I have to do, again, is add 360. So again, negative 170 plus 360 degrees, and that's your 190 degrees. And you can see over here, that's 190 degrees going that way. So again, just add 360. It's pretty straightforward. Once you get to, let's see, this question, it's the same one, so you can do the same there. Same idea here, right? Oh, hold on. Find the angle of least. Okay, so this one's a little different, number 4, because they gave you a pretty big angle, 414 degrees. If you're 414 degrees, what you have to realize is, again, if I go back to this and I say, oh, well, here's 360 plus another 30 is 390, right? Technically, I could say, oh, this is 390 because I went 360 and then another 30, but you can tell that's the same as 30. So 390 and 30 are the same measure. So over here, I could just subtract 360, right? That would just be 414 degrees minus 360 degrees. And that gets you 54. So, just use a little intuition here. They want an angle of least positive measure that's not 414. So in this case, adding 360 would get you the same coterminal angle, but they just want the least positive one, the smallest one that is not 414 that's positive. So you would subtract in this case rather than add. Same thing here. And over here, find the next two positive and next two negative. These are actually, again, really easy because all you need to do is keep adding 360 to this until you get to your first two positive ones. Yeah, you can just subtract 360 and subtract 360. It's, again, pretty straightforward. The math is pretty easy. Number 7, let me show you how to do this one. It's a very general concept answer, but the idea is that if you want all the coterminal angles starting from 180, the first one would be 180 degrees plus 360, right? And then the next one would be 180 degrees plus 360, but plus 360 again, which means you have two of them. And then 180 degrees plus three 360s, right? Well, there's one. So if you want to list all of them, you would just keep going forever. So instead of writing it forever, you would just say, well, this is just 180 degrees plus n times 360, where n can change between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it would, represent all of these, right? Okay, that's 7. 8, I think you guys should be okay with 8 because the idea is that if you take a look over here, again, this is quadrant 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, quadrant 1, 2, 3, 4. 54 degrees would be in quadrant 1 because it's between 0 and 90. Finding the positive and the negative one is just adding and subtracting 360, right? Let's see. Example 9. Again, add and subtract 360 until you get to your next angles or your next negative angle. And if you're 118 degrees, again, it goes 0, 90, 180, 270, 360. So if you're between 0 and 90, that's quadrant 1. 90 to 180, that's quadrant 2. 180 to 270, that's quadrant 3. And then 270 to 360, or you're back at 0 in that case, then you'd be in quadrant 4. Again, if you're a number bigger than 360, you can subtract 360 repeatedly until it gets to a number less than 360, and then again you can figure out which quadrant you're in. Number 10 is more the same, except you're going in a clockwise direction, a negative angle. So again, if you get a number, this example is pretty easy because negative 90, we just know we're pointing down this way, right? And again, all you have to do is add 360 or subtract 360 to really figure out where you're at. And that's basically assignment number 3, just easing you into figuring out these angles because we're definitely going to be working much more with them going forward. If you need any extra help, just give me an email and we'll work something out. Stay safe and healthy, guys. Hopefully I'll hear from you guys soon.